Big up on yourself, graduates. Big up on yourself. I can see you all. Hang on, let me just sort something out on this side. Bear with me. What a way on over here, so pack up fast. Right, let me hail up my people. Good evening or good afternoon to you wherever you are. Karen, Real Talk, big up your nice, clean self. Vanessa, good evening. Jay Summer, good evening. Galsa Nice in the building. Chanel, big up yourself. Drea, 1969, big up yourself. Antoinette, you reached early today. That is very good. Bro Shaka, blessed love. Simone Barton Joseph, big up yourself. I see you. Who else am I missing? Norma, big up yourself. I see you, Carleen. I can see that you're here, my lovely. Big up yourself. Right. So, we're gonna get into it, right? Don't watch the thumbnail. The thumbnail is all about YouTube and its silliness. So I'm just making sure that certain things are in line. The original topic and the original title is on my Facebook and on my community page. Of course, you know, so tonight is another 10 Tory in a one, right? And the way I tend to operate, I tend to go quiet from time to time because I'm absorbing, I'm taking in all of the things that is happening. Sometimes I take a purge, I take some time out, because if you absorb too much, it's too much of a distraction. And hello, I have a life, right? So me not get too caught up in everything where I go on social media. It really have to catch me attention. Let me show my foot a little bit. It really has to catch my attention. My God, this thing makes my hair look funny. You'd think I'm bald. It really has to catch my attention for me to come out and say something. Otherwise, I'm not out here as one of those hungry people for content in that I don't have to come out every day. This is not my livelihood. It is a hobby. It's something I do for fun. It's something I do on the side kind of thing. So I literally do not need to come out every day. It's got to be worth my time. Mm-hmm. So, yes, there has been a couple of things that has caught my attention. One of which I noticed yesterday, which will form a large part of our discussion. And the rest has been happening over a period of time, over some days. Okay. So yes, we're gonna get started with 10 Torina 1. But before I go into it, let me just make sure I have not left anybody out. Stacy McDonald, hello. Debbie, I see you. Angie Scott Simpson, I see you. All right. Okay. I know a lot of you are here, particularly from my perspective, on one particular thing, but that is going to wait. We're going to start first with the first topic, which is about whether or not these bloggers have to lie in order to make it on social media. Do they have to lie? We've been hearing a lot of stories, right? A whole lot of stories. A lot of the stories have to do with particular personalities on social media that are not quite liked by the Planketarians. We've been hearing a lot of things in terms of whose workplaces or business places have been called, which letters have been written, emails that have been sent, who's lost whichever opportunity. We've heard a lot of things. We've heard a lot about who's setting up who, and it's all been very, very, very entertaining. I cannot deny the entertainment factor has been quite high. And of course, when bloggers are going at it between each other, one of the things that other bloggers have to do is stay on the sideline and don't get involved. But it doesn't mean that we're not taking in the situation and we're not listening to either side to kind of get a sense of what's going on. One of the things that has come out is that there are people out here And it's not something that we're not aware of. There are people out here who persistently come out and tell fabricated stories when either they are arguing or in order to manipulate their listeners into swinging in one direction or another. Me can't bother with a lying thing because, honest to goodness, if it's a matter of lying on each other, it really undermines the work of bloggers out here in these social media streets. Do bloggers need to lie in order to make money on social media? Now, this is what I'm going to say. Many times, the lies that are told are to gain a larger listening audience than they would have had previously. You hear what I'm saying to you? Sometimes their personal vendettas get in the way of the work. And I'm not taking any particular side, nor am I pointing any particular finger. I'm simply listening to the argument that this a person you lie and that the person they lie. The reason why it can be easily said that this person lies or that person lies is because we, the audience, know for a fact that there have been documented lies coming out of whichever camp that exists. So once you are caught out lying, it is very easy for people to take that label and stick it on you. You understand? I'm not going to go over the lies because I'm not going to dig up for them business. But I'm pretty certain that the audience is not ignorant of the fact. We don't have to go down memory lane, although some people are pulling up memories as we speak. But there have been lots and lots of information put out here. And the thing what I don't like, because I'm looking at it from two perspectives, guys. I'm looking at it from the perspective of a blogger, and I'm also looking at it from the perspective of somebody who used to just be a simple follower or listener. There have been times, and we've been told some very explosive things, explosive situations about popular social media personalities, about their family members, about their partners, who them there with, who them not there with, about their mother. And all of this has been swept under the rug with a simple apology, right? A peace treaty, so to speak. But human brains don't work like that. Once you have said something, particularly something of that severity, it cannot be expected that the minds of the public are erased on the basis that two parties have decided to make peace. It is an unreal expectation. And what irritates me is that when people decide to revisit the situation, they are bullied into silence, or they are made to look as though they're troublemakers because they're revisiting things that you actually put out here in these social media streets. You put them out. Nobody else did. You did. And why is it that it is perfectly fine to go down this avenue with other people who are considered to be, I don't know, targets or topics of discussion? But with certain people, we dare not. Remember, I'm not on any side. I'm talking about what is blatantly a justifiable argument. If you bring up something that is actually quite a serious accusation, you leave it to fester and to do what it needs to do out there. Because at the time, you were basically, against the person that you were speaking about. And then you and that person you were speaking against have made peace, buried the hatchet, decided to move on. All's hunky-dory in the world. We're great about that. That's all good. But yet other people are refusing to have that memory erased. You really can't do anything about it. It is an unfortunate situation that those things were said in the first place. But my question is, at what point should the public be put at ease with the information that was placed in the public domain so they can understand the distinct differences between what was true and what was not? Because until that is done and a clear clarification is made to distinguish between what was false information and what was factual information, there is always going to be an element of doubt and seeds being planted that will grow a wider audience against somebody who you are now allied to. In other words, I don't genuinely believe you did a good job at cleaning up your mess. And you cannot bully all of us into silence. At the end of the day, the things that were said are going to ricochet throughout social media for time to come, because nothing significant enough has taken place to squash it. Hold on, let me see some of the comments. True. Yes, indeed. Now, significantly, I have noticed that whenever it is that someone goes head to head in some kind of social media battle, the person whose image and reputation suffers the most is always 33 times 3, right? We know this. This is like history repeating itself. And this is why people are going to look at it that the very people who are supposed to be supporting her or who claim that their actions are supporting her are bringing her the most damage and the most harm. That's what they're going to say. For the simple reason that whenever there is a head-to-head conflict, the information that is regurgitated is information that is damaging to her character and her brand. So in listening and observing from the sidelines, all I could see is a strategy that's gone wrong. It is clear that particular parties did not want to go down this route, and that there were steps made to try to stop this from taking place. And it crossed a line when it came to not respecting boundaries between bloggers. We're going to get to that a little bit later in terms of dealing with this whole thing of social media bullying, right? By not respecting boundaries, or at least by asserting boundaries, where really and truly the person was within their right to assert their boundaries, because when you own content, it's yours. And nobody has the right to take your content and use it without permission. Yes, bloggers do that. We take content and we may re-stream it, or we may, rework it, comment over it, whatever. Sometimes the way it's done does not align with the image that you wish to portray. And if it is that it's done in that way, you are perfectly within your own rights as the content owner to make sure that that does not happen. You understand? Now, of course, there are tricks to the trade that you can still go ahead and do it and not get any kind of legal ramifications or guideline strikes. But at the end of the day, you would have set yourself up as as essentially an opponent in the social media street, because you are doing it against the wishes of the content owner. It happens. But at the end of the day, when you guys go head to head, and then this person revisits information that was put out there originally by yourselves, And you think that by rising up and then carrying on, it's going to stop. It's not going to stop because there's nothing you can do about it, because essentially it's your words that are being thrown back in your faces. My question is, why didn't you do something to make sure that you could squash all of that? Because if that information isn't true, and you know that that was clearly fabricated, or I don't know, you were making up I don't know, then is there no way for you to make that clear that this is the case and that that information is all false? But then by leaving it up in the air, it's creating more damage than it is anything else. And you're thinking that probably people don't listen to this person or whatever. You'll be surprised. You will be surprised how far-reaching this information gets. I mean, social media is like that. The internet is global. And like I said, it is not something that can be stopped because it's what came out of your own mouths. This is the reason why a lot of people are not willing to give the piece a chance. They're not willing to look past it. They're not willing to go forward from it because it's still in many instances unresolved information that has left questions in people's minds. Some of the stuff that were brought to social media from there in the first place. In other words, none of us knew about it until you said it. I just don't understand why it is that people are expected to not discuss these things and knock them on the head, because by making it look like you dare not talk about it, you dare not revisit it, is giving the impression that there's something there that you don't want people to know or to discover, and that you're trying to silence people about something that may lead to a very negative end. I don't know. But if in my heart of hearts, I knew that when I first came out here and I was against somebody and I just decided, you know, something, I just make up a whole heap of wicked things about that person, yeah, you know. And therefore, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to say the most. I'm going to just make stuff up. And then now me and the person agree back. And all this stuff is still out there. People are running with it, believing it, and so on. And I knew that I lied. I would do the integrous thing of coming out here to say, I lied. It isn't true. Of course, that can be damaging for my brand or my image, but only for a period of time, because your followers will see that you tried to do the right thing and you tidied up your loose ends. Unless there's truth in it. Then it gets complicated in terms of proving what's true and what's been embellished. See what I'm saying? It is a shame, and it is the past, and it's something that we wish we could bury. A lot of us wish we never heard it in the first place. But this goes to show you that social media responsibility is a thing. And all of us are responsible for what we put out there. And likewise, all of us are accountable for what we put out there. But what I don't like and what I don't respect is when people try to bully you into silence. That I don't get it. The whole point of social media is to be able to openly express yourself. Of course, it may have far-reaching consequences. Let's not forget that. But to shut people up when they're trying to talk about something, it smacks of guilt. If it ain't true, let them talk. You simply dismiss it with that it wasn't true. None of it's true. And trust me, even that will stick, because listen, I've heard lies come out of that arena. I know that they've lied. Like, I've heard things they've said and they've lied. Remember, they referred to somebody as being in a wheelchair, and they did that for ages. And not no go so. Tidying up your loose ends means that somebody who is potentially innocent does not get further damage. That's if there are loose ends to actually be tidied up. You understand? Should have taken place the minute you hug and agree to peace. Amen. Amen. Because it's like people are trying to treat the public like we're some kind of, I don't know, rolling stones that gather no moss, people who don't have any opinions of our own, or we can't think for ourselves, or we can't question and interrogate information. And there are lots of us who are out here who are far too intelligent to just get pushed and prodded into directions without asking questions, right? And I genuinely believe in making sure that people who have a free spirit are allowed to have a free spirit. I don't believe in suffocating people's opinions or censoring people's thoughts. I do believe in educating, and I do believe in clarifying. And I think that where severe things have been said that have gone against somebody who you now claim that you respect and you adore, then really and truly, it should be about clarifying this information so that it aligns with your new agenda. So maybe it's the whole thing of, listen, what's done is done, and it's water under the bridge for you. But for the public who have observed and taken in that information, it is never going to be the case. It is never going to be the case. People are always going to remember what was said, and always going to be thinking back on it, and always going to be wondering what was true and what was not. And those who seek to be an opponent of the woman is going to pour from that all of the negativity, and they're going to use it to fuel their fire. They're going to run with it. They're going to persistently run with it. As embarrassing as it is. You understand? The way I go bad up everybody will talk about it. You can't. You have to look at it like, listen, I put this out here. How do I damage control, fix? Start with that, even that thought process. But it's like you guys are looking at it like, once me fix it with the person, me no business about none of una want to think about it. And me no business about none of una thought process. Well, so that's disrespecting all the followers, all the subscribers, all the people in the public. But what we fail to recognize is that the people in the public are the ones who will sustain the lady's brand and her reputation for years to come. And the more a negative audience is allowed to grow and develop on the basis of what potentially could have been lies, the more short-lived that might be. And unfortunately, whether we agree with it or not, it does have an impact. Public relations is a very significant thing when it comes to marketing. Your image and your reputation matters the higher you grow. Why place a glass ceiling barrier where there doesn't need to be one? Do you understand? Because Jamaica is a funny place. Jamaica is a funny place. And let me tell you listen, this is one of the reasons why I left the damn place. But listen, if it's not necessarily about who you are, it's more so about who you know. And the higher you go up in the social ladder, or in terms of, your connections, if there's a slightest thing that may offset the image of those that you are mixing with, you will find that there will be limitations placed on your progress that you can't fathom. You just can't understand why you can't go beyond a certain point. No matter how much you try to go beyond a certain point, you'll notice that you just keep getting certain boundaries placed in your way. Right? In other words, the who's who will go high, but they'll do so through a window. And that's purely based on what they've heard on the grapevine. We have to be so careful about the things that we put out there in the atmosphere, the things that we say about each other in social media. It really does matter. And that's why one thing I've said that I will never do is come out here and make up stories about my fellow bloggers. I'm not doing it. No matter how much I can't stand somebody, I'm not going to come out here and manufacture a tale just because that person and I are arguing. Some of you have manufactured tales about me. Last one that I heard was that I was taking money along with Erica. Garbage. And that was because of couscous. Made me look at you very differently. Me no business if you want to tell me about my vice or oh me and I couldn't care less about that. That is typical couscous. Tell me about my front, my back, whatever. Disrespectful, yes. But your opinion. But when you start to lie, that's where it takes a turn. You can't be that limited in your creativity that you have to manufacture a story in order to cuss. But then when we tell these kind of lies, use up too much energy showing hate. Yes, indeed. But when we manufacture these lies, what we don't realize is that we're planting seeds that will grow into a poison tree. We're planting seeds that will grow into a poison tree. And it's quite damaging, quite dangerous. And I don't want anyone to feel as though this is coming just from one particular place. It's coming from a lot of places, a lot of camps. Tell lies. And I'm not going to say that they're lying just to create a buzz and make money and cash up and Zelle and no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that often these lies that are born out of not just the desire to have a show and to have entertainment to hook the audience, but also based on enmity with each other. It's like, how can I attack this person? I don't have anything on them. What can I make up that will hit them where it hurts? And then I really don't understand because do you know what disappointed me? It disappointed me because I used to have admiration for the kind of things that used to come from certain platforms. Whereas it was anything to do with social justice, you know, say, hey, teacher, I love that. Anything to do with protecting the vulnerable, I'm there for it. I'm there for it. I love seeing the ordinary person being lifted up. When did it become like this? And you know what I'm going to say? And this is just based on the arguments that I'm hearing, the things that were said. You see, bloggers out there, anything you can do to have your own say, your own platform, control over your own earnings, your own page with no boss, do it. There are many out there who will help you if you are stuck in terms of procedures, to get you there. because they already love the sound of your voice, the things you have to say, what you represent. Because when it is that you have to operate on somebody else's agenda, sometimes it takes away from your own ethics and your own morality. And what you really would prefer to do, you can't do because it does not align with where that group is going. That's why we've seen certain camps mash up. Because at first they thought they had to align with this person. When they realize that them don't agree and them don't agree with how this person's handling things, then they fragment. And instead of them fragmenting in peace, it become one big pasa. Read the writing on the wall. Learn from history. There comes a time when you get so big that you don't need a crutch. And hopefully when it happens, it can happen peacefully too. Because I can see what's at play. I can see it clear as day, and I'm sure the public can see it as well, but they're not going to say it because, of course, they're afraid to get cuss out and tell about their underneath which part of them stink or which part of them are stink. You understand? But it doesn't stop free thinkers from thinking it. Let me see some of the comments here. I have said it before that social media in this diaspora needs a truth. Walande. Me miss what a person they say. I've said before that social media in this diaspora needs a truth and reconciliation committee. Clear up the lies and confirm the truth. Then we will have a real peace. I really like that idea. That sounds good. You know, I've often wondered whether or not we need a bloggers coalition or a bloggers association for our diaspora, where there are certain disagreements, you know, you pay a monthly membership. Well, maybe not pay a monthly membership because, you know, once money is involved, it gets all funny, but where we can basically discuss certain things that are blogger to blogger issues and iron it out before it's presented to the public. I don't know. But it almost feels as though this is one of the industries that is the most underregulated there is when it comes to professions out there. The social media space, they call it the devil's playground for a reason, because so many things are allowed to go on that in a regular workplace would never dare happen. There would be such ramifications for people's behavior. I mean, look at it. Chocolate and Vanilla the other day, they had to talk about this. I had to share that live because I was like, you know, I'm so glad somebody else sees what I've been seeing. Why is it that we've got people who would not dare in the workplace speak about another woman's body, come on social media and feel that they can body shame females and get away with it because it's an unregulated space in many ways? And Zuckerberg is not doing a good job for the simple reason that he does not have the resources to interpret the variety of cultures that exist on his platform. So whatever workers he has, them can't understand Jamaican. So some of the things them we are say, I go straight over them head. So when somebody is saying that's bullying or whatever, they're just like, we don't get it. No, it's not. It don't sound like English to me. Don't even know what it's saying. It's fine. Right? And this man is so under-equipped to handle some of these miscreant behaviors that we see all the time, which is why we as a community often decide to take it into our own hands. So because we know that the systems won't work where this person is concerned because they're not getting it, then this person then becomes the brunt of what would be considered cyberbullying because the systems aren't giving the justice that's required. So you will see somebody over there doing something so disgusting and nothing's happening. And then suddenly you see somebody like Ping Ping over here. So just get up one morning and spend 4 or 5 hours just to rub and scrub the person there. And people are like, oh, she crazy. And they don't understand. No, she's not. She's seeing the crap. And it's not being dealt with through legitimate avenues. So people will look at certain personalities and say they are cyberbullies, they're bullying. But these people don't come out unless you do something first. Very different to some who target you regardless. I'm talking about particular ones. You understand? So what I don't understand is, one, why is it that some of you are so damn entitled? Why is it that some of you feel that you have the right to take people's content and disrespect them? Why do you feel you have the right to do that? It's not like you're taking the content and you're just speaking about it, you know, discussing it or whatever, and going, boy, I don't really agree with that, or I agree with that. No, you're being disrespectful while doing it. You're calling them out of their name and you're using their content. I mean, who the hell are you people? And if you're going to do that, you dare not do it with a person's face blatantly on your page. You don't own the right. Nor will you ever. So when it is that somebody like myself or other people who are familiar with the legislations and the policies, and we know how for hunger farms can when I run from that, hunger somehow and strike, you know, when I get up on in on feelings, calling in on platform and I make up on a stupid nice. Because you're bloody entitled. Like, who are you? So I can understand why it is that people will have issues with people playing their stuff, be it that it's affecting the income that they're supposed to be earning, or they don't like the representation, or they're not allied with another party. So therefore, that party should not be playing their stuff because them and them are a friend. There has to be boundaries amongst bloggers. Boundaries that should always be respected. But some of you out here are so damn disrespectful. And don't expect to get handled. So as I said, of course, anybody who uses anybody's content can get strike anytime. But some of you actually depend on that money, and some of us couldn't care less. But at the end of the day, you're less likely to get a strike if you're being respectful. This is the thing. You don't even have to agree with the information that you're streaming. But if you're respectful, you are less likely to get messed with. You are less actually, it would definitely then be a case of that person's deliberately being cruel, or that person's brand has to be protected in a particular way. You don't know what kind of legal agreements have been made behind closed doors in terms of their platform not being used, any their stuff being not used on any other platform. So at the end of the day, if they have to do it, they may have to publicly declare and say, listen, guys, I'm giving you X amount of time to remove all of my content because my current contract does not allow my stuff to be shared. After that, I have no responsibility because you're going to receive a strike. That's a nice way of dealing with it. But if you're disrespectful, people don't have to be nice to you and give you notice. They can just hang you. And it would be serve your rights. And then this is another thing that I don't understand about the mentality of some of us on social media. You come out here and then you start to lie, because this is where it starts, you know, friction. And then mega tell lie and make up things about this person, somebody that you don't even know. And then some of the little dirty followers them on those pages running their mouth about somebody they don't even know, rather than just shut up and listen. And when I say dirty, I don't mean physically minded. It's pathetic. All of us could be out here doing our thing and not stepping on each other's toes. But at the end of the day, yes, you're gonna have friction. That are human beings. We're gonna have our friction. We're gonna have our little falling outs. Just like how I had my little falling outs one day with other bloggers who I actually don't disrespect, but they took how I presented things as disrespect. So I addressed it. None of us not above correction. None of us. The ones who were disrespectful, however, I have no interest in anything they have to say. Because the moment you call me out of my name, then quite frankly, that's it for any potential alliance unless you apologize. But at the end of the day, all I can say is this. The lies that are left to linger in the public is the problem. And these lies that are left to linger in the public has caused a lot of damage and continues to cause damage. So now my whole thing of dealing with this whole thing of social media and bullying in social media, is that anytime anybody run out on me or do whatever, I'm going to turn you into content and make money off of you. And not even going to bother. No chitter chatter and cuss and losing my temper. I will either skit you out, make a meme off of you, or make a video and laugh at you. But anything I do, I have to get paid to do it. Otherwise, I won't be responding. And that's how I plan to deal with them. If I see dirty comments and stuff, your face may very well appear on my page. Because some of you out here go around the place and create trouble. Notice I'm not over on your pages, not saying anything about any of you guys. I don't speak about you like that, or at least not in any negative way. But some of you insist on having my name in your mouths. It's a bit sad, really, to constantly talk about somebody who don't talk about you. Like, seriously. What is that? Don't make no sense to me. But like I said, let's try and clear up these lies. Let's try and, if there are lies, let's try and clear them up. Just try and clear them up. Otherwise, people are going to talk about it. It is going to be constantly revisited. And basically, you have given ammunition to people who do not wish this lady any well at all. And it is such a shame. Right. We're going to go in as something now. And for this purpose, I want you all to just be listening to my voice. All right? I just want you to be listening to my voice about this situation here. So, people, why una couldn't tell me say 33 times 3 do this? 33 times 3, please listen. If you have me on speaker, I want you to listen to what me have to say, because this one no normal. I want you to listen to what I have to say right here. So I got sent something on Pink Wall. And when I went on Pink Wall, right? When I went on Pink Wall, to look on the thing that I was sent and to listen to the thing that I was sent. 33 times 3, come here. Just one moment of your time, my lovely. I just have to say this to you. maybe you've been told, maybe somebody near and dear did say, or maybe you haven't, because you know you have a thing about you where you say nobody can tell you what to do or what to say or whatever. And of course, you don't have to listen to a soul. That is a fact. You're a grown woman. But me still gonna say this. 33 times 3. Sometimes we are the creators of our own situations. Sometimes we are the creators of our own situations. That post that has more or less gone viral didn't need to be said. It didn't need to happen. And I'm pretty certain the Planketarians who are on my page know exactly what post I'm talking about. So this is about the situation with Missa Sar. Hold on there. How much people? No, man. Before I go into this, hold on there. Let me just check something. Because 369 of you are on my live, which I totally appreciate. Welcome to the silent listeners and the silent watchers. Big up on yourself. Head teacher K Speaks welcomes you. But I look at the likes and I see 109. That is an insult in itself. I'm about to go into the topic, but me can't go into the topic like that at all. Me I go wait a little bit. Oh no, at least get me to 200 likes, the man. I am not asking for Cash App. I'm not asking for Zelle. Me not pressure on a pocket. Me knows everybody have bills to pay. Me quite happy with me little ads where I run over here. All I'm asking is that you bump up the algorithms and like up the live, please and thanks. Before I say what I have to say, you can't just stay over here and take entertainment and listen to things. And you can't even thump up the like button. No, man, me vex. Me feel away. Me feel away. On God, me feel away. As someone know say, well, if I want to the pie like me, you know. Oh, it'll go up, little. All right. May I feel a little bit better now. And that's fine. Y'all don't have to like me. It's fine. I like you. I have no hate in my heart. Honest to goodness, I don't. Right? I may teach some harsh lessons, but it's not a hate thing. Yeah. So, the video that went viral on Pink Wall, well, I wouldn't say viral, but you know, Lord God, I don't want anybody coming at me with any technicalities about what viral is, okay? In our diaspora, if you get more than 200K views, that's viral enough. Cut it out. You know what I mean? But the video that was highly watched, the clip, on Pink Wall, about 33 times 3 of Missa Sar. Okay. When I saw it, I just kind of did this, held my head, massaged my temples, shook my head a bit like, why did you say that? Why did you say that? Why did you go there? Why did you do it? 33 times 3, sometimes I swear you love the drama, you know. Sometimes I swear you love the drama. Listen, you know I adore you, but I see it, you know. Because mega sound like 13 because say 13, but you don't like me, you know, but the way you talk make me laugh sometimes, but I'm gonna lie. Why did you say that? Remember, you are on an incline. You are a brand. Everything that comes out of your mouth is magnified times 10, times 100, times 1,000. It travels to places beyond your wildest imagination. It lands on the desk of people you probably think you will never have the privilege of meeting. Be careful what you say. and how you say it. Mm. I will go on, yes, so. Oh, okay. Thank you, Healing Souls. So I listened to the clip. And of course, one thing I do when I listen to things, I go straight to comments. Sometimes I don't really pay much attention to what I've listened to. I go straight to the comments. Sometimes some headlines I see, I go to the comments first to make sure it says not clickbait. So I went straight to the comments. And the comments were as I predicted. They were not pleasant at all. Not pleasant at all. I would say that the majority were quite horrid, quite harsh, not good. And of course, you know, you have those Plancatarians with the business on the want for say, we love anti, blah, blah, blah. Listen, chill. This is beyond your passions, right? I'm looking at this lady in terms of her representation, in terms of where we see she has the potential to get to, the levels, the standards that she can achieve. I don't care about uno and uno love. The things that were said were horrendous. I'm not gonna go into it, right? And lots of people have got questions about this elusive Missa. And just like I said in the beginning of this blog, you cannot stop people from questioning around things that have been thrown out there in the past. And this is why we have to be careful that we don't revisit certain things that is going to reopen old wounds. I have no interest in who your Mr. Sar actually is. I couldn't care. I have my own Mr. Sar. I don't business. Neither should the world, to be honest, but let's be frank. Prince Charles, who is now the current king, had his entire personal life thrown open to the world. His tapped phone calls made public through the press. We learned about Camilla as the extra woman through the media. So at the end of the day, if somebody who is royalty cannot protect their private life from prying eyes, neither can you. Human beings are going to want to know. So who is she in bed with? Human beings are going to want to know. So why haven't we seen him on camera? Then people are going to go snooping, digging. And if they hear something over here and they're hearing something over there, they're going to put two and two together. They're going to do their research, because some people do research different from me, but they'll do their type of research. And based on what's already put out there, it's not a pretty picture. So why? Why talk about, why go there? I just think that we know something about make for talk, you know. Everybody free for talk, and everybody free to have their emotions and whatever people. But I want you to just think on a higher level for me, please. Contracts don't last forever. Okay? Contracts of brand ambassadorship does not last forever. They don't last forever. And even a contract that claims that it's a permanent job can end. I want you to understand that. There's always an out clause, always. Therefore, we have to always think about our future in terms of where we're going with certain things. And obviously to prepare ourselves for a time when the contracts may stop. There, you might be the hottest thing since sliced bread on social media now, but somebody else may come up to be the next hottest thing. So at the end of the day, the aim and intention is always to capitalize on that period of popularity for as long as you possibly can to the benefit of your brand and your economics. Why reopen a wound in terms of the memories of social media by making certain statements? I don't know. Right, I'm going to go through. Remember, she's human. She would do things and say things without thinking. Simone, I'm already aware of all of that. But no matter how human we are, there are certain things we really just don't have to say. I mean, come on, I'm human. I mean, even when I'm angry, I can stop myself from saying certain things. Let's not try to make it look like the woman doesn't have self-control. She's got self-control. She has self-control. She is capable of having self-control. We can curse about things, say things that irritate us, and we always have something that says stop. She needs to choose our words carefully. Natalie, sorry, I'm not going to repeat what was said. You're going to have to go find out. I'm also waiting to hear what she said. I know she speaks sometimes without thinking. True, what we say matters and can be taken out of context. If you have a brand, you always need to be conscious that negativity is never good for business. TMI is not good for anyone. Thank you. Exactly. And this is the thing. I don't want anybody to be hypocritical about this. I mean, I can be here and I can be talking to you about my partner, but do I need to be telling you about what happens in my bedroom or below my waist? I don't. I don't need to tell you that. And I can control myself to not share that or digress that information with you. So I don't want anyone giving this lady less accountability than she's capable of having. It does not need to be said. I know I'm not going to repeat what was said. It is blatantly on Pinkwall. Y'all can go find it, right? But I'm not going to repeat it because it's not something that I want to be ricocheting throughout social media for time in memoriam from my page. But I'm just saying, be cautious. And then using certain allegories, or I should say figurative language, that's heavily loaded. Mighty God. Because figurative language is going to be interpreted however that person infers. It may not be as you intend. This is a thing. So you may be saying something with a meaning in your head about what you think that figurative language means, but that's open for discussion and debates. And people are going to walk away and take away from that sometimes interpretations that you don't intend, and that can be damaging. I'm just saying, like, nobody needs to hear that. Yeah. That one was a little bit too ratchet. I'm not gonna tell a lie. It was. And you are capable of far more. Thank you, Gal So Nice. No, you don't, because some of them on the internet too enough and will run and twist things. Exactly. She know you guys are going to talk, so she said, let me tell you something. This is another thing as well that we are doing out here by saying things like that. You're basically trying to paint her as some kind of attention junkie. That's what you're saying. By saying that, she know you are going to talk, so mega said this controversial thing, paints her as a narcissistic person, as though she's hungry and needy for attention. That is a psychological illness in itself. And I do not believe she's that. You know, I think the very nature of her personality will make people talk about her, right? The way she puts her words and whatever, yes, it will. But I know that even with the way that she puts her words, there's certain things that she knows she doesn't have to say. And if it's said, and it's said knowingly, let's entertain that argument for a minute, that she knows that it's going to cause a controversy and that's why she said it. And given the fact that there is a backstory out there about this Missa, right? If we were to take that backstory as gospel truth, which I doubt it is, but if we were to take that story as gospel truth, then is it that what was said was done to take a dig at the partner of that person? Do you see what I'm saying? It just sounds messy. It sounds messy. So I don't want to entertain that because I don't want to view her in that way. I'm just saying that she is fully capable of doing things differently. Tell you a joke and whatever, but I mean, I think that certain things, this is what I'm trying to say, will cause people to cast their eyes backwards, will cause people to pull up past accusations, stories, twisted nonsense that, whatever, will cause people to dig up all kind of things, pull up files, dash out name, everything. Because that entire thread was just that. The entire thread. Why create our own situations when we can rise above them? Why create our own situations when we can rise above them? This is something not just for her, but for all of us, really and truly, all of us. Right? All of us. Because believe you me, even with the recent so-called attempts at bullying, because it wasn't really bullying, that came my way, I was so tempted to go on real bad. I was. I'm not going to lie. But then I thought, is that how I want to be remembered out here? No, I'd rather be remembered for my wit. Yeah, I'm a feisty, but I need to be remembered for how I handle these people as opposed to what I said and what I did in that way. You understand? So I have to find my own path in terms of how to handle things that does not leave a permanent tattoo on social media that I'll be ashamed to turn back and say, yeah, that was me. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at some comments. She needs to, sometimes I wish had a Carol or Paula beside her to just nudge her when they see her going off course. She needs to stop talk about and cannot show or will not show him. No, that's not true. She doesn't have to show anybody she does not wish to show. Right? She does not have to show anybody she does not wish to show. As I said, that's her business. That's her business. Personal people, you do not have to show. You don't have to show your kids. You don't have to show your partner. You can always refer to them and you don't have to show them. That is not anybody's business at all. Right? But I'm gonna deal with this person in the comment. Don Brown. Is she your child? No. Am I yours? Don Brown, am I your child? Because I don't recall ever saying that 33 times 3 is my child. She certainly is a public figure, and anything that's placed out in the public is open for discussions. So what exactly are you trying to imply, Don Brown? Is she your child? Am I your child? Therefore, you can't stop me from speaking, can you? Ever thought of that? I would kindly suggest that if you're trying to be rude, you exit class before you get muted. Exit before you get muted. Because the last time I checked, that comment was all over the place. And is me I have strength for? Is she your child? Are you my mother? Are you my mother to come in here to ask if she's my child? Some of you people just run your mouths in comments and don't know what to say. You need to exit this classroom. Thank you very much, admin. I don't have time for nonsense. If you are not willing to take a public discussion, then say what you're saying off air. It's as simple as that. But if you come over here and you be rude, I'm going to call you out. So just understand yourself. Crazy. Right. I'm a planker, and that's so true. Yes. The manager is not doing a good job. Listen, hey, unagi that the manager did far too much work. You think say any manager can control 33 times 3? 33 times 3 is our own lady. You understand? She's our own lady and so on. But I just want her to be aware because sometimes awareness is all, right? Just be aware that when you say certain things, it will have certain repercussions and so on. Everybody's human. Everybody can make mistakes. Them not have to be perfect. And reflection is always a good thing. Just like when I make mistake and somebody else call me out feet, me have to go take a reflection and decide, well, hang on, is there anything I can learn from this? Did I do something wrong? Could I have done it better? Blah, 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 blah. And then we'll and come again. This is what we do with people that we care about and people that we admire. You understand? So, and this is a thing as well, that she's always going to be spoken about for as long as you're trending, for as long as you're a public figure, for as long as your videos go viral and people will have 1,000,001 things to say. So at the end of the day, she does not even have to look in the direction of HTK Speaks channel, full stop and period. And nor am I expecting her to. But it doesn't mean that I am not free to speak about it. So if anybody's offended by that, they can kick rocks without shoes, without socks, and in traffic. You understand? Yeah, everybody do. But Teacher K, you repeating it's only going to let others go dig it up, just saying, no disrespect. I get that, Colleen, but it's already, to be honest, it's already gone back. It's already out there. And yeah, if they want to go dig it up, they can dig it up. But plus, they were on the live. So a lot of them were on the live and they saw it and heard it for themselves. I genuinely believe, Colleen, that sometimes because we love this person, we ignore certain things. We pretend as though certain things are not being said. But then the certain things that are said continues to be ammunition and continues to be used in a way that is damaging. So I am saying nobody cares to know about stuff like this. We don't. We're there for the jokes. We're there for the entertainment. We love all the charity stuff and everything else. But that part, really don't want to know. And the people who want to know are the people who just damn fast in your business. You know what I'm saying? Just nosy. It's not their business. Nobody should want to know, your private life. It's just not their business at all. And you can choose to keep private what you wish to keep private, right? We're all physical beings. All of us are physical beings, and we all talk about certain things, and so on. But there's certain ways that it can be done where it's entertainment and it's tasteful. But then there's other ways that are just not. And it is what it is. And you can tell based on the reaction. If it was done in a way that people loved, the reaction would have been positive, but it wasn't. So that should tell you something. That's a point of reflection. And take your thank you very much. I'm glad you held your head up high and ignore these fools, for you're too classy to lower yourself to some of these that are trying to set you up. Thank you so much, Real Talk. I appreciate you. Some of these people don't use common sense, but we all know it's not very common, sadly. I'm telling you, I have lots of these conversations in my head, but at the end of the day, she's going to just say she's her own big woman. So I just keep my opinions to myself. Absolutely, Daily Musings. I understand that altogether. But yes, so yes, I addressed the elephant in the room now. I hope that I do not hear my stuff being streamed all over the place without my permission. Maxine Foster, come to the class. Maxine, I see you over there. Not because HTK is not saying anything. I see you over there streaming my lives, But anyway, you're not being disrespectful, so I'm not going to say another word. But it would have been nice if you dropped me a message and said, do you mind if I stream? That would have been nice, don't you think? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. People, this is what I'm talking about. But as I said, you were not disrespectful, so I am not going to strike anybody who does not disrespect. You know what I'm saying, right? So, like I said, people, this is the kind of thing that when we come out here on these social media streets, we have to think about, the things that we say, how it's going to be used against us in the future. Sometimes we can't prepare for how our words are going to be twisted and how certain clips will be taken out and interpreted by the public. Sometimes you can't prepare for it, but where you can predict, then we have to be careful and cautious and have that responsibility about the things that we say and who we say it about. Because at the end of the day, when you have certain goals, certain dreams, certain ambitions, you can't let stupid social media behavior stop you from achieving your ultimate. And that's all that I'm trying to say. I hope you have learned something in class today, and that you have found the discussion interesting. Please like up the live on your way out. And thank you so much for attending class. Okay, good night.